Thank y'all for being here. Feels a little strange. Like Heather said, I've been involved with partners for a little over 10 years, but I spent the majority of the time out there with all of you, and I got very comfortable doing that. And so as I've sat in this room with all of you for the last 10 years, one of the things I've learned is that these rooms have a lot of power to change lives. The lives here are primarily the ones that we focus on, the youth, but it also changes the mentors' lives for those of them that are lucky enough to know these kids. As Heather said, in 2014, a very involved man named Gerard Nalesny gave me the opportunity to take his board position. And I was, as Heather said, much younger, less polished, and I did not think I had anything to give to this organization. But Gerard saw something in me. He saw some potential that I wasn't able to see in myself at that time. And with that one decision, he started a journey for me. And that has led me up here in front of all of you tonight. I've thought about that a lot because when I first started with partners, I thought that mentoring was a calendar appointment. It was a title, it was a program, but I didn't understand that it's a lot quieter than that. It's subtle. It's making room for these kids. It's teaching them how to trust themselves when they don't think they can. It's taking that unpolished person and not just walking by them. It's seeing them, and that's what Gerard did for me. When I look back on my life, this story started a long time before Gerard. When I was very, very young, before I knew what mentorship was, there was already someone in the world making decisions that would shape my life. Mind swapping the slide?
I know, I'm working.
The story's hard without it, so. I mean, that's a good-looking photo, but. Not exactly.
We're working on it. And also, Nick, since we've interrupted your awesome speech so far, can you hold the microphone a little bit higher?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've never been accused of being quiet, so. We'll get there. There we are. Thank you. Success. I don't think anybody in this room, except for maybe one man, knows who this is, but this was my first mentor, Lillian. She's a big part of the reason that I said yes to joining the board that I thought I had no business being on. Lillian, my birth mom, was 15 years old when I was born. She was a great writer even at that age, and she wrote me letters that I could read growing up. And there was one line that always stayed with me, and it was a very reasonable question for her at the time. She asked us, how can a child raise a child? And I've thought about that for years because there's so much in it. There's fear in it. There's heartbreak in it. There's honesty in it. But most of all, there's love in it. The kind of love that tells the truth even when the truth hurts. The kind of love that chooses someone else's good even when it means that you're giving up something for yourself. These are my two little boys. I have the pleasure of being their dad. And now, as a father, I look back at her, and I know her now as an adult. I couldn't have done that. It could have been the right thing to do, but I couldn't have done it. And so I owe her a world of gratitude. Sorry. Looking back now, it's obvious to me why Lillian was my first mentor. Not because she was sitting down and teaching me lessons, not because she got to walk through life with me, but because she impressed something on me that's very important to my life, right from the very beginning. That real love is not just a feeling. It's not something that you can articulate. Sometimes it even means stepping away so that someone can have a chance. It costs you something. And so when I was sitting there maybe Gerard made a mistake giving me the opportunity to hop on the board. But because she stepped back, I knew I owed it to her to step in and find a way to be able to give to an organization that was trying to do the same thing she did, is give kids a chance. My apologies, I didn't think I'd get a little emotional about this, but it's weird. So, this handsome couple here. 12 days after I met Lillian, I found my forever home with Tom and Beth Hoogendyk. My dad's sitting right here. My mom and dad, they chose to be my mentors. Before they ever chose me, they were already choosing the sorts of things in their lives that made room for a child. They had already chosen sacrifice, patience, guidance, and the sort of caring that means you have to show up every single day. They gave up so much before they even met me just to bring me into their family. And once I was there, they kept choosing me, not once, but over and over again in ordinary ways every single day. As I grew up, my dad showed me the value of hard work. He built businesses when I was a kid, and he always did it with a playful heart and a love for serving people. He thankfully instilled that in me. My mom, on the other hand, was this beautiful balance of unconditional love. She was the tenderness in the moments where I needed it, and she showed me that I never had to do anything to earn their love. I just had to be myself. Together, they taught me kindness. They taught me the value of hard work. And they also taught me that the hardships in the world, whether they belong to us or not, should be acted on. Not because we caused them, but because we're responsible for what we're doing when we see them. You help, you give, you show up. And eventually, because of the foundation they laid in me, other people started to see things in me as well. Those of you that have lived in the community a long time recognize this gentleman. His name is Spiro Palmer. If you don't know him, his family has been involved in the community since 1976, giving back in various ways. And he saw something in me and decided at the age of 13 to give me my first job. He had me in the basement of Palmer Flowers in June, pricing hundreds and hundreds of Christmas ornaments, which may seem like, inglorious work, but in the details there, Spiro always saw something special. I remember being a kid with him sitting on the floor in the basement of Palmer House. His hands, for those of you that remember, were always bloody from working with roses. And, he had tape wrapped around him that barely held his fingers on, it looked like sometimes. And he would sit and meticulously show me as a kid how to put price tags on. It was the kind of work that most people wouldn't think twice about, but Spiro always did. And what he was really teaching me was that there's no job that's beneath your best effort. My dad taught me you're never too good to take out the trash. Spiro taught me that even how you take out the trash says something about you. It's in the little things that you do as you become a man or woman that make the difference. And in that work, you can find pride in yourself. That stayed with me because for a young man, there's something powerful about an adult outside your family seeing you and looking at your work and saying, in 100 quiet ways, this matters. And so do you. So when I think about Spiro, I don't think about some basement in the middle of the summer. I think about one more adult who shaped me by teaching me that excellence starts small and that pride in your work can become pride in yourself. During those years that I worked with Spiro, I quickly became a teenager, and not just a 13 teenager, but a full-fledged teenager. And that is where the gentleman at this table right here, there he is, the gentleman right here, Marcus Valdez and Andy Weiss came into my life, and so many of my friends. I had all these incredible mentors in my life, but I couldn't hear any of them. I needed something else. They had all stepped in for years, but I pushed back. At the time, they weren't a whole lot older than me, barely, but it felt like a world of difference. And they worked on Jefferson Street, a place called Brothers Boards, which they quickly, as entrepreneurs, turned into their own place called the Skateboard Market. And my friends and I spent every moment we could there, bringing the smells and noise and awkwardness of teenagers into their shop, which couldn't have been great for business, but they never seemed to care. And so for 8-10 hours a day, every day that they would let us be there, we bounced between their shop and the skate park down Northside Aztlan Center. And then probably without them even ever noticing, they became exactly the mentors we needed. In that shop, they taught me about healthy outlets for the big new feelings I was having. They showed me that you can look into the world with your own set of creative eyes and see something that nobody else sees. Stairs and handrails and empty parking lots became a canvas for us. It gave us a way to dance through the world that nobody else would give us. And through this, Marcus and Andy showed me that if something mattered to me, even if the world couldn't understand it, it was worth chasing. And you will fail, and it will hurt, but that pain and frustration are part of the growth. Fear is manageable, and failing hundreds of times doesn't have to stop you if you won't let it. What Marcus and Andy did for me, they did for so many kids in our community. And for that, we, and they are forever indebted to you both. So, looking back, I can see every one of these mentors gave me something different. Some taught me sacrifice. Some taught me the value of hard work. Some taught me discipline. Some taught me how to fail and keep going. But I can say with absolute certainty that no one of them could have done it alone. I needed each and every one of them. And that'll be with me for the rest of my life. They left something in me, something that stuck, that stayed. This is, like Heather said, I like to run around the mountains on occasion. This is me last June finishing the Tahoe 200 with my buddy Nate and my dad, who's always there at my finish lines. And what you can't see in this photo is that my mom was there for every wonderful, terrible mile of those 200 miles that June. That was important to me because she hadn't been back there since she honeymooned with my dad in the 1970s. Unfortunately, my mom passed away about 4 years ago. And one of the things that loss teaches you is that people's impact doesn't end when their life does. It echoes. It keeps showing up in the way you live, the way you love, the way you treat people, and the way you carry forward what someone taught you. Now I get to take a little bit of mom everywhere I go. She gets to come to me with places that as a child she could only dream that I would reach. And so I got to scatter a little bit of her ashes into Lake Tahoe. It's a special place for me. No matter where I go from there, I know she's with me. And that's what legacy is. It's just not what we leave behind. It's what keeps living in other people. Because we were here. My birth mom's sacrifice lives in me. My dad's work ethic and love of service, that still lives in me. My mom's softness, her unconditional love, the way she made people feel safe, that still lives in me too. Spiro's pride in the small things lives in me. Marcus and Andy's lessons about failure and resilience and healthy outlets lives in me. Gerard's boldness in taking a chance on a young man to steward this organization and this mission, that still lives in me. And that's why nights like tonight and rooms like this matter. Because Partners is part of building that legacy. Not by replacing families, but by coming alongside them. By helping them fill their children's lives with the sorts of mentors that filled my life because of pure happenstance. I hope tonight you've seen one of your mentors in this, or maybe even seen yourself. Someone who did this for you. I hope that because I was lucky. From the day I was born, my life was shaped by rooms like this, rooms that were full of people. People who loved me, people who guided me, challenged me, sacrificed and made space for me. Not every kid has that in the same way, and not every hardworking family can be that at all times for every kid. So it's very important that we keep filling these rooms. Let's do it for the kids that need it. Let's do it for the families who are already carrying too much. Let's do it because our legacies live on in these kids, whether you meet them or not. Whether it's giving your time as a mentor or a board member, or some of your treasure in the powder raise after I walk off this stage tonight, partners need you. These kids, they need you. And I am standing here before you as a man looking back at a life where in the loving arms of a 15-year-old mother, I would have needed partners myself. So this means something powerful to me. So, well, thank each and every one of you for being in this room. Please continue to come back, show up. We need this, and now we have a wonderful opportunity, I think, to raise some more money and help some more kids. Appreciate y'all listening to me, giving me this time.